Hey everyone, that is New York Harbor, the famous oil market, to my delight. You see back over there. I don't know if you can see right, let me see if my finger's right back there, but there's a tanker that you can actually see. And if we're lucky, we'll get, there's a products barge right there, if you can see it. No, you can't see it. Okay, believe me, there's oil moving around this harbor. Okay, so week ahead, going to be, we called yesterday for a bounce in crude. It's seasonally a very weak time of year. Harvest has ended, and the refineries, haven't quite got cranking yet for winter. So, as you know, we held 80 and Brent, and that's important. We'll just see what happens. Our argument yesterday was that the pain trade here is actually for the market to go down into Christmas and for the oil price to go up. Just, reflecting sort of an opposite view of what we think the consensus view is right here, which is pretty obvious that we'll get a Santa Claus rally and that oil will stay under some pressure. So we'll see. It's actually an interesting week because last week we didn't get any oil data from the US government, whereas the API, which did publish last week, had a over 10 million barrel build in crude. So this week we'll get a double dose of data, and if there is big crude builds, it'll be interesting to see if oil holds. If oil holds up with that bad data, then I think the oil rallies here theory could easily run. So that's kind of what we're seeing in the oil market. The Middle East remains, I think, broadly speaking, in conciliatory mode in the context of, a horrific situation. It's not materially deteriorating or expanding, more importantly, outside the relatively very small confines. And in fact, the Chevron Tamar field has come back on today, and that was the only major physical effect so far of the conflict in terms of shutting down Chevron's Tamar field, which would at the margin affect European gas markets because of Egyptian LNG exports being reduced. Europe is still 99.5%, I think, full on gas storage, so there's not a big bull story there either. But we still think that, tactically the oil price can bounce here. We'll see. It's gone down a lot, let's face it. On the companies, we're victory lapping a little bit on Oxy. Back in February we wrote about carbon capture and the value to Oxy. We had $25 of upside on that one, and we had a major announcement last week of a further investment in Oxy's direct air capture. We don't think it makes a whole lot of sense, but our argument is we don't make the rules, we play the game. And if someone wants to buy a dumb product, it's not dumb to sell it to them. And Oxy's doing a very good job of the direct air capture theme. We like it a lot. Net Power is another company we love in that theme. Devon, talking back to the bounce concept, we think might be done with its huge sell-off over the course of this year. It's been awful this year relatively. And we like Devon here based on the company stepping up the buyback, high-grading activity. The tough one is the M&A that comes out of it, because what we're hearing is that somebody is going to buy Crown Quest in the Permian, and whoever that is, whether it's Conoco, Devon, Marathon Oil, all the usual suspects, Diamondback, those that don't win it are then going to go into a domino round of M&A and mergers. So, for example, if Devon gets, and it could be very good for Devon, and they were a bidder for the Shell Permian stuff that Conoco got, if they were to get hold of it, that would be positive for Devon, and then you might see something happening, let's say Marathon Avintiv, or whatever that combinations are going to be. The problem is, with the current premiums being paid, it's hard to see who it's good for and who it's bad for. It's generally good for the acquirer. So, for example, if Devon can get Crown Quest for a price, which is going to be tricky because it's competitive and evidently it's good stuff, then that would be very positive for Devon stock. Okay, and we're looking at refining this week. We're going to do a whole load of stuff on refining, actually, because we've got our refining conference January the 3rd. Hang on. We've got our refining conference January the 3rd. And, enjoy New York Harbor. There's the refineries. Don't they look terrible? Have a great week.